Welcome back, everybody. Zed at Imperium Games. Zed, how does Patreon work? Why the hell would I give you $15 a month? It's a scam. It's not worth it. What are you trying to pull? What are you trying to prove? You know, we've been doing this only for a couple of months, and it's interesting to see how we're being trolled, I think, in some ways by some people. Because the grasp as Patreon is not that simple, and I get it. You know, you go to the webpage and you figure, oh my God, I'm going to start paying this person $15 a month so that he can give me access to product that I can get in, that I can have directly in the LGS. You can see all of this here. I'm in the middle of another series of what they call our version of mtgfinance. This video is for people that are still wondering, how does Patreon work? Why is it worthwhile for me to give you money on a monthly basis to be part of the Patreon program? We have Patreons currently. It's not a huge group yet, but the more patrons we have, the more buying power we're going to have, and we'll be able to lower our costs even further. I am going to take you through, for the next 7 or 8 minutes, I'm going to take you through what it's like to sign up for Patreon, okay? This is not a pitch, to get you to sign up right after you watch this video. It is about you understanding how Patreon works and to help you evaluate in your circumstance of being either a player, a collector, or both. Is it worth it to be part of a digital environment? You know? Let's check this out together. Let me explain it to you how Patreon works and what the benefits of our patrons are getting by being part of the community. All right, everybody. So what we're going to do quickly here is show you the experience of going on to Patreon to see if it's something that you might want to consider and to better understand what the business model looks like. So I Googled Patreon, or you can go to patreon.com. Patreon is a crowdfunding platform. That means that it was specifically designed, by the way, for content creators, which means that content creators, people that have their own YouTube channels and things like that, manage to get funding from crowds of people, digitally, to help support their channel, which will help them, in our case, do box openings and, pay for some equipment. And for other people, it might be building Lego sets or whatever you want. So you're a content creator and you have a service or a product that you want to offer to large amounts of people. Now, going digital is not, having a digital service is nothing new. Everybody buys online. It's billions. It's a billion and billion-dollar industry. So it's normal that a platform like this would eventually come around. So we do a quick search for Imperium. Imperium Games instantly comes up over here. This is Peter and my landing page. It's the official Imperium Games landing page on Patreon. You can recognize our logo over here. And what we say going in is that we are essentially trying to create great opportunities for Magic the Gathering players and collectors. The starting premise of this is that the more people join the Imperium, or rather the Patreon Imperium Games community, the greater buying power we are going to have at our distributors. Currently, we have got 4 tiers, so 4 levels if you want. Squire, Knight Lady, Nobleman, Noblewoman, Prince, Princess. You can see the different values at each month. The question we get the most often is that, Zed, it seems like the $15 a month and the $20 a month are exactly the same. You get the same advantages on each. The answer is, you're absolutely right. The difference between the two is that it is customary for content creators that create a Patreon account. It's customary to offer a limited number of patrons, which are known as the early supporters. The people that signed up first and said, you know what, we believe in your product. We're gonna support you in your product or your service, and we're gonna take a chance, and we're gonna sign up, and we're gonna start supporting you. So it's customary to have a reduced cost for the first people that took a chance. So yes, they're both the same, both exactly the same service, but the first 250 people are getting it at a better cost. Otherwise, everybody would get it at $20. I'll come back to these 2 tiers in a second. It is also customary, if you browse around on Patreon, to have a sort of a $1, $2, $3, $4 a month contribution that allows people that really enjoy the content that's being created to say, you know what, I'm going to help you pay for the costs to keep your channel alive. Those costs could be anything from camera equipment to the boxes that we're opening up. And like I said before, you know, if you're a Lego creator, content creator, you need to buy Lego sets, whatever it is. You're doing reviews of whatever. You need money to be able to do this. And it is also customary now in 2020 to have people help you fund that. You know, we're no longer stuck watching channel 5 to 9 on TV. We can fund our own channels that we want. So in our case, the Squire level is basically supporting us, you know, to help fund our video content. But in exchange, if you've been a Squire patron for at least 3 months, we'll send you something cool, you know, like a signed full art land or foil land, you know, or something along those lines that makes it worth your while. You feel like you're getting something back. And for us, we have to request a couple of months of investment to be sure that we can actually cover the costs of sending a full art land. Just sending it, you know, is going to cost us probably $3, $4, $5. Well, maybe not that much, but I mean, you've got to include the cost of the shield, the cost of the send, everything. So we want to be sure that we're covering our costs at least going in. But you also have access to Patreon member-only content, which could be videos and other offerings, as well as rewards and giveaways that we might include down the road. Now, due to WHOLESALE, due to policies, all of that, everything is for Canadian residents. So you're interested in supporting us and you say, we like your channel, we've got ideas, we want to participate in it. $5 a month is the right tier for you. Over here, the $15 and $20 a month, what we are doing is you can, if you're a patron member at that tier, at that level, you can buy up to 6 standard boosted boxes per month. The word standard meaning the most recent set. Theros, Beyond Death, we are selling it right now for $147.50, taxes and shipping included, which means that you need to keep that in mind, that there is a shipping cost associated to this. I've mentioned it in previous videos. If I'm shipping one box out, it's going to cost me $15 to ship only this one box. So our model, the $15 a month, if you're only purchasing one box, is actually going to cover just the cost to send this to you. However, if you buy 2 or 3 boxes, instead of paying $45 in shipping, we might only pay $20 in shipping. So that threshold is the additional funds that help us get more momentum, fund everything that we're doing, and go back to the distributor and say, okay, you know what? We've got buying power now. So the way you have to look at this, why do we limit it to 6, or why do we have it at least as high as 6, is because the patron community here is for Canadian collectors and sort of big players or collector/players of Magic the Gathering sealed products. So a new expansion comes around, Theros. You know, some of our patrons, you know, reach out to us and say, I want 4 boxes. I want 5 boxes. And Theros is still around for the next 2 months. I'll take another 2 boxes. I'll take another 1 box. Oh, there's collector edition boxes coming around. I'll take 2 of those. Oh, we'd also want some Brawl. So basically, you're getting access to everything that we have access to at the distributors pretty much at cost, plus taxes and shipping. So look at the number here and make the difference between the amount of money you are paying at your LGS. In my neck of the woods, it is $165. Let me just bring up my calculator right up on screen here. Excuse me. In my neck of the woods, it costs $165 for a booster box. As if you've seen in other videos, I have a huge collection of singles, which I've bought. I have over $100,000 cards, and I have about 60 or 70 different sealed product that I've put aside to let it mature over the years. So figure I've averaged that if I was buying them all through the distributor, and many of them I did in the past, if I was buying them all through rather my LGS at $165, and I was buying, say, 3, 4, 5 per expansion, 4 times, 3, 4 times a year, various other products, it would be the equivalent of buying probably about 25 overall, the investment of buying about 25 booster boxes. So let me multiply 165 times 25. It has just cost me about $4,000, you know, in the year to buy some Magic the Gathering product. Okay, so what is that number if I'm paying it here at this tier of 147 on average? 25 times 147.50. It's costing me $3,637. Okay, what's the difference between the two? All right, 4125 minus 3637.5 equals what? $487. Okay, is it a sufficient enough savings to warrant the $15? Remember, this is US. So it comes out to about $18 a month, $18, $19 a month times 12. Let's bring up another calculator. So I'm taking, say, $19 and I'm multiplying it times 12. It is costing me $228, and it would have cost me $487. The instant savings is over $250. That's just a quick glimpse, and this is just estimating approximate value of $4,000 that is spent in a year. But the reality is that, let's say that you had access, like on Rudy's channel, to Collector's Edition Theros. Okay, we have access to that right now. Let's bring up a fifth calculator. So our patrons now currently have access to, if you go on to Zephyr Epic, he's selling his Collector Edition booster boxes for $330, shipping included, times tax, 14975 in Quebec, $380. We're selling it for $330. The savings, nearly $50. Just buying one Collector's Edition booster box, you are by being a Patreon member, you are saving $50 just on one box. Let's say that they do this on regular products. You know, we know that there's regular products that are going to come out. There was all of the Masters products. There's the Brawls and all of that. Let's say that you do just this 3 to 4 times a year. $200. You have virtually covered your cost of membership only in buying the specialty products. This is what the point we're trying to get to. And this is at a threshold of $147.50. The more members that we're going to be, the more buying power we're going to have. And imagine if we could drive this number down to $135, taxes and shipping included. You'd be virtually saving $30 on every single booster box that you would purchase. If you buy 20 of them in a year, times 30, that's $600 of savings for a $250 investment. You know, I mean, the calculation speaks for itself. You need to figure out the threshold of what makes sense for you, for your habits in Magic, for your access to product. You know, the Brawl decks, when they came out back in December or November, whenever it was, October, November, Brawl was selling at the time, bring up my calculator one more time. Brawl at the launch was selling on average, let's say $45 plus tax. $50, let's say $51, $52. This was the price of a Brawl deck. So if you're buying all 4 of them, this is how much you paid for your Brawl deck. All right. How much did Imperium Games sell its Brawl decks? To its patrons around Christmas time? $95, taxes and shipping included for the set of 4. Remove taxes. For the set of 4, how much did you pay for each one of them? $23. What's the difference between, well, let me multiply it back times 4. Our patrons paid, I'm not sure the number came out properly. Let me see this. Let me do that again. So they paid $95 minus shipping, but let's pretend that shipping was free. 114,975. Okay, sorry. So they paid $82 before taxes. $82. So basically, they paid each one of them, taxes included, shipping included, $23. $23! You paid at launch $206. They paid at launch, $95. Oops, I minimized it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You understand the point. $95 they paid, you might have paid $200. They saved $100. They basically saved 6 months worth of supporting us on Patreon in one single purchase. This is what the community is about. This is what it's going to look like for the first 250. The savings will be a little less aggressive for the next tier up, but they will still be. So maybe instead of saving $400 in the year, you'll be saving $330 in the year, $340 a year. You'll still be making a savings. And over at the $30 a year tier, well, you want lots of it. So we're talking about 60 standard booster boxes a month you have access to. So if you're a collector and you're an investor, you know, and if you look at, I'm in the middle of doing some investment videos right now. You buy a box at 147, any one of the boxes that I have next to me right now. Well, I shouldn't say any because, the Ixalons of this world didn't exactly kick off. But Dominaria came out in 2018, and it was selling back then, say, for 147. Go on eBay and see how much it's selling for right now. We're looking at 200, 250 for a box of Kaladesh or Dominaria. It's virtually doubled in price in a year. So does it make it worthwhile? Absolutely. Listen, do some perusal. Go through it. Ask some questions. If you don't want to try it, that's fine. It might not be for you. But if you're considering it, write to us. I'll put the address on screen. It'll be below as well. Write to us. Ask us some questions. If you want another video on it, I'll produce another video. We have come up with the equation that makes sense. If you go over to, say, Rudy, which is our big American competitor, but he's American, and WotC policies would not allow him to sell sealed product to Canadians in any case. He's doing the same thing, and I think he has close to 4,000 supporters on Patreon. Do you realize the buying power? When he goes in and he says, I want to get, I need 4,000 Theros Beyond Death. 4,000. No kidding he can get them at $75 per booster box, US. But no kidding he can get them for 100 Canadian dollars. 100, 105. No kidding. There you have it, guys. Reach out to us. Let me know if you have any questions. It works. The more people we have in this community, the more it's going to work. You can cancel at any time. Don't worry about that. You're not stuck in this. It's a month-by-month, invoicing process. So anytime you figure, don't really like this, cancel. Don't worry about it. But if you're hesitating and you want to give it a try, we still have a couple of Theros Collector's Edition available at $330. Taxes, shipping included when you buy your first booster box. Any one that we have available right now at this threshold. Any one that we have even at the higher thresholds, you have access to that. Take care, guys. We'll talk soon.